26 kart of Christopher Bingham. That was Jack Nettleship jumping up and down then. He just realised he's been spotted on camera. Every driver settling themselves into their kart. That was Ewan Thomas. There is Harry Cottrell. And there's the number 63 of Alex Duncan. Hopping in the premium karting, that's Louis Johnson Cool hopping in. There is Caden McQueen, starting 6, up to Harry Burgoyne Jr. And there's Kyle Atkins. That's a focused individual there. Kyle Atkins, visor down so that no one can see into his world. Gus Lawrence, reigning national champion, is sitting on the pole position side of the grid. The number 11 Dan Holland racing car is Marcus Luzio. There are the mechanics and the dads walking off. So as the mechanics and dads and various assistants leave the dummy grid, this is Senior X30, and it is coming right up. "21 drivers in total," and again a big hello to everyone tuning in on the live chat. Gus Lawrence and Kyle Atkins on row number 1. Marcus Luzio and Harry Burgoyne Jr. on row 2. Sam Shaw and Caden McQueen on row number 3.
Marcus Littlewood and Louis Johnson Cool, they'll go from row 4. Josh Agenbar and Alex Duncan round out the top 10. They go from row 5. Alistair Cresswell and Harry Cottrell, they round out the top 12 on row number 6.
Luke Taylor and Ewan Thomas are up next, followed by James Pashley and Oliver Greetham, Michael Rapsey and Chris Bingham on row number 9.
The final 2 rows, Callum Tanner and Jack Nettleship rounding out the top 20. 21 drivers in this one. Josh Palfreyman rounds that one out. He starts all on his own on row number 11.
Hello to Motorsport Magpie. Thank you very much for joining us on the live chat. Marcus Luzio, he says, I recognise that name from iRacing. Well, Motorsport Magpie, do you know what? I recognise Marcus Luzio from real racing. The racing you're about to watch. Reality on the screen.
Do you know what's
Brandon
funny?
Nagelvort saying Marcus Luzio for a big P1. Yes, Brandon, that is the big P1, that P that you've never experienced yourself. Sorry, Brandon, only joking, mate. You made fun of me last weekend at Milton Mill, saying I couldn't count, and I said I can count down to 29, because that's normally what I need to count to get down to where Brandon's running. Sorry, Anthony.
Did you know there's a racing game called Real Racing? So
Is
it
there?
actually sounded like you just said, I don't know him from that. I actually know him from this one. So you've made yourself...
Is there a real game called Actual Karting?
No, I don't think
no,
so.
There we go. I know him from Actual Karting. Motorsport Magpie. Then moving over, Harry Burgoyne is his pick for the win. Let's have a little look. Well, Harry Burgoyne sitting there in the number 68 Mick Barrett Racing kart. Lawrence in the number 1 kart. Atkins in the number 7. Into the tram lines. Lights are out. No, they're not.
False start.
Kyle Atkins in a whole heap of hurry trying to get away, and a little bit too much. Jeffrey Stewart saying well done to George Edgar. Well done indeed. Remy Gilbert, Marcus will win because I have been coaching him on how to overtake on iRacing. Right. Remy Gilbert, I remember you racing not very successfully at Milton Mill last weekend. No offence, Remy, but I'm joking. I hope you were coaching him on iRacing. And Mark Fleming looking in for the West of Ireland. Racing next weekend, the second round of Motorsport Ireland. X30 Junior in Galway. Galway girl, that's an Ed Sheeran. No, okay, sorry.
A cue to start singing, Henry.
I can't, look, if you cue it up, I can't help myself.
Well, contain yourself.
Every time management hops in, I go, it's management. Do you know?
That's a handy mute button I've just pressed. That's absolutely fantastic. I need to press that more often. I'm sure Henry will unmute himself any moment now.
Only to say hello to Dylan Brierley, say come on, Kalai and Caden McQueen and the rest of the Crop Promotions team.
Exactly. Right. Second time of asking.
Actual karting. That's the name of the game here, boys and girls.
Actual karting. 4 wheels, 2 strokes. Smell, smoke, racing. Here we go, into the tram lines. Hands are going up. Littlewood with the hand up, but it looks good, and it's not good. Now, it looked okay from that angle. Obviously, that was one angle. The Trent Vale Kart Club here have got about 17,000 angles of the start-finish line and can confirm whether or not it was good or not.
I mean, here we go. We're running the risk, Anthony, of having our first game of Shut Up and Listen. A game that you and I know very well.
Oh, yes. We get told to do that all the time.
And one of us tends to, and the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
Can you guess which one of us listens when asked and which one of us doesn't? Dan Amore, that's Dan Amore, is chatting in as well. Last year's top privateer in Minimax.
That it?
Yeah, that was just it.
Okay.
I got away with singing a line without you muting me. Right, no. This is where Gus Lawrence and Cole Atkin, now they need to really, really behave themselves. Because if they get stopped, they get one more opportunity, and then they could get sent to the back of the grid.
Yeah, so they've got to be very, very careful in these next few moments.
So let's be careful.
Let's see what happens. So, once again, third time of asking.
They are now crawling to the line. They look like a pack of walkers off The Walking Dead or something like that, just shuffling towards the start-finish line.
Yes. So, here we go. I've got no idea what you're on about, but anyway, into the tram lines they go. It's looking a little bit out of shape. That's another false start.
Right. Okay.
So I suspect something may happen here, folks. They may get one more attempt.
Well, I tell you what, no, they shall not.
Red flags coming out. So
majestic flag waving skills there from Mr. Manchester on the starting gantry.
No.
Absolutely majestic.
Careful. Told off the last time he started talking about his flag waving.
It's majestic. No,
right. Anyway, to give the folks at home, if you're wondering, okay, what's going on? Red flags come out after 3 failed attempts at a race start. These drivers are going to be stopped. They're going to be spoken to. And this is very unheard of to see it in seniors, you know, the most experienced of the grids.
There's Race Director.
Oh, yeah, he's on his way. Crucially, he hasn't got his clipboard, so...
Striding with a purpose.
Yeah. So this is just going to be a telling off.
A slap on the wrist, as it were.
Yes.
There's Dan Ashton, just guiding them into position. And okay, we constantly make fun of Dan Ashton. Well, as you can see why. But to give them credit, any person who is prepared to stand out on a racetrack,
with karts going
around, you know, they are putting their safety in hands. They're stopping the race because the speed at the start is too fast. It becomes dangerous. Therefore, the drivers are putting themselves in danger, but they're also putting the marshalling team and the officials around the track in danger. Now, here we go. This is where they play shut up and listen. Their job is to shut up and listen, as Nigel Edwards now tells them, don't protest.
No, don't fight back.
Augustus,
don't fight
protest.
back. Yeah, no. It's, you've got to listen at this point now, and he's just, like you say, Nigel Edwards, race again, just nod the head, smile and wave, effectively.
Smile and wave. And Kalai's there with his hasn't said a word, because Kalai's trying to get into Gus's head.
Yeah.
Kalai's trying to get that advantage off the start. He's standing back. Gus is, fair play to Gus. Fair play, Gus. That's...
You get back in your car.
Get in your go-kart, do your job.
Yeah.
And now he looks across at Kalai Atkins, and Kalai Atkins is like, do you know what? That's 1-0 Kalai Atkins.
Yeah.
That is one, you know, Gus is protesting his innocence. Kalai, cool as a cucumber that has been stuck in the back of the fridge since last November. That is how cool he is. Gus is flustered, Kalai, not so. How will that translate now going into the first corner on the opener? Gus is still shaking his head.
Again, it's sunk in, really, hasn't it, there? And if I remind myself, do they go from where they start here, or do they get one more lap?
No, they'll go. The idea is you go. You've got half a lap to get yourselves into position. Everyone starts. That's a good sign. But, you know, it's great, you know. Let's see what happens. Of course, I could be completely wrong. Gus Lawrence could ace the start and clear off and win by 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
But he's the one that is irritated. He's ratty. You know, why, Mr. Race Director, why are you talking? Going to go around one more time.
Yeah.
Why are you talking to me, Race Director? It's not my it's not my fault. The guy on the outside is, and nice. No. It's your responsibility. You're the pole man. You know, so let's see what happens. So Gus has now got 1,382 metres to completely erase every single thought that he has just had in that chat with Nigel Edwards. He has got to completely wipe the slate clean. Now, focus. His mechanic, Stephen Lamian, will be there going, right, calm down, forget about it. Nothing you can do. Kalai Atkins, body language is just total focus.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what will happen then. The race due to start.
George Quartermain, who we'll see in the Junior X30 final later on, saying Katie McQueen has got this one in the bag. Let's have a look one more time.
Just enjoying that. If you're watching on TV and you've got it up on your mobile telephonic device with Ian Rogers Motorsport-timing.co.uk's webpage, you can see all sorts of information, including the virtual championship, including the track map, all the data, everything like that. You've also got the comment sections, and crucially at 2:36, session stop to allow race director to instruct start procedure and give a telling off to Gus. No, it didn't say that last time. But it's one of those.
Here we go. What effect has it had? Now they are in lockstep to the start line. Lights are out now. They're off and racing. Oh, Kalai Atkins trying to squeeze Gus Lawrence, but he gets squeezed out. Oh. Lawrence makes a perfect getaway. Henry Baudet, what are you talking about? Gus Lawrence had it all in hand. He was just teasing that frustration. He leads by 10 kart lengths before they get to turn number 4. Kalai Atkins is stranded down in 3rd place with Marcus Lucio with the P2. Oh, and that's one of the Argenti karts, Stephen Duncan, for a wild ride.
Oh, and that just shows when these karts go off tilter how hard it is to maintain control. And the fact that he got control of that kart there was unbelievable. I suspect that will have shaken up 1 or 2 drivers further in the pack as well. Slippery surface flags are out actually going into Bobby Game Corner. This is interesting. So keep an eye at them as they make their way through. I'm not sure what's happened, but there is slippery surface flags out. And there's water. There's water on the track.
Someone's radiator has decided to deposit its contents all over the circuit. I can't see it raining. We're not getting any word from the camera crew out on circuit that it is raining. It's only that one corner. Now,
look at that. Where's that come from?
That is a pipe that's burst. That's a pipe's burst.
Well, the water is just falling onto the circuit. I'm not... how on earth that's happened?
Incredible. Never, ever seen that before. Well, that's going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. What else can they throw at the Senior X30 field? And, of course, now Gus Lawrence is going to be the first driver to encounter this.
Yes, he
Tommy
is.
van der Stroys. Hello, Tommy. How are you doing? Good to see you on the live stream. Let's have a little look. Now, it is coming into... There it is.
And it's gonna come down into the middle of the circuit if it keeps going that way as they enter into the final, the start of the Mike Wilson complex. It's not making any issues at the moment, but that could become a question mark later on in this race. Thus far, though, Gus Lawrence is leading the way. The gap's 0.7 of a second, but we've seen this. The gap, it's difficult to maintain it because the slipstream works well here, and Atkins and Lucio are using that slipstream to full advantage. But going junior, first year in juniors, currently right now, first year in seniors, I should say, is P4, fastest lap of the race, and is hunting down Lucio and Kalai Atkins here.
Well, I've got to say, every single one of the top 4 or 5 or 6 drivers in this race has had somebody on the online chat saying, they think they're going to win. They think they're going to win. But anyone can do it. Kalai Atkins back into P2. Lawrence using that frustration to his advantage. I thought it was getting a lecture. Now Kalai Atkins has got to try and hunt him down. We have not had any, the drivers now all know that water is there.
Yeah.
We're not going to see... We're not going to see anyone diving at the inside going into the start of the Mike Wilson complex.
That would be a very bad day.
There's a move back in the back. That's one of the MDL Motorsport drivers. That was Jack Nettleship, who's already gone from 20th up to 10th and now put Jack Nettleship into P9.
Well, here we go as Lucio dives to the inside of Atkins. That's for P2. So that battle still rages on. They've got to be careful, though, because that is going to allow Lawrence to break away. The gap has come down even more. It's about half a second now between the top 2. And there you can see the train that's starting to form now further back. Second all the way down to P7. Then you've got the next group led by Agenbar, Cottrell, Nettleship, McQueen. Caden McQueen has not had a good start in this one. He has dropped down to P11.
Caden has done a little bit of racing over the winter, but he hasn't done too much. Alex Duncan and Callum Tanner have retired. Duncan probably needing a new change of overalls after that incredible moment on the first lap. Here's the rest of the field. Sam Shaw putting in the fastest lap of the race. So what we have Lawrence being chased down by one Dan Holland racing kart, one Crop Promotions kart, one Mick Barrett racing kart, one member of the Jade racing team, and 2 drivers from Premium Karting. And the PF International driver, Gus Lawrence, keeping them all at bay at the moment.
Wow.
We've got Agenbar 8th, Cottrell 9th, Nettleship 10th, then Pashley, McQueen, Taylor, Rapsey, Greetham, Bingham, Thomas, Palfreyman and Cresswell.
One of the Premium Kartings going off wide there. That water has stayed where it is. It looks okay. I can see some squeegee mops getting sorted out, ready to try and clear that as best as possible before the next race. 10 minutes remaining on this one, so no concerns from these drivers. They're absolutely flat out as Louis Johnson Cool now fastest lap of the race. Cool as a cucumber and Cool by name. He's there in P7 and is working well, fighting through this field. He is up 1 position from his starting spot of P8. He's at the back of this train, but nonetheless, he has got the main slipstream of all of them in front of him.
And Sam Shaw makes the move on Harry Burgoyne Jr. Now Harry playing with the big boys now. And Harry, I think, would be well advised to just maybe settle back in and just sit. If give Sam a lap to see if he is quick enough to tow you up to Kalai Atkins, Marcus Luzio. Gus Lawrence's lead has remained 3/4 of a second for the last 3 or 4 laps. We're completing lap number 5 now. After my comments after the aborted start, what's the phrase? Have not aged well.
No, they've not.
Because Lawrence has led by 3/4 of a second since turn 3 on the opening lap of the race. And we're now on lap 7, still with 9 minutes to go. But Luzio and Atkins have been working together, and they cannot catch the leader. There goes Burgoyne Jr., who has decided not to follow Sam Shaw anymore, and thinks that he is quick enough to lead that following. Well, now they've now both Burgoyne Jr., Shaw, Johnson, Cool, all the Premium Karting team holding their collective breath, and Littlewood have now been dropped from just Luzio and Atkins, 2nd and 3rd, chasing Lawrence.
Yes, indeed. So the 2 teammates getting a bit too close for comfort, I think, even for their liking. Now, are these 2 closing in? That's the question.
No.
They cross the line.
Simple. The answer's no.
They're not, are they?
They're not falling away,
no.
But they're not closing in. They're lapping within a thousandth or 2 of the race leader, Gus Lawrence, who has been metronomic in his lines, his pace. This is incredibly consistent fast lappery. Littlewood in the number 10 car to the inside of Burgoyne. That is for 4th position, but their chances of securing a podium are fading lap after lap the more they squabble.
Yes, indeed. They've got to be careful here because, well, Gus Lawrence is just driving away. Last year's champion, of course, in Senior X30 and a familiar face at the Paul Fletcher International Raceway. The team based here and is, well, I think he's got the circuit really kind of drawn on every single part of his body. He knows exactly the best way around this track, really, doesn't he?
And, now for the first time in 7 laps, the gap has come down. Luzio and Atkins trim 0.2 of a second.
Oh, you say trim? That's a chunk.
Well, it's as much as 0.2 of a second is. Well, you are right, Anthony. In this sort of like parlance, in this situation, it is. And now they've got the bit between their teeth. The gap is down to less than 0.4 of a second.
Whoa.
Now Luzio and Atkins will get a bit of a tow from Lawrence, both on the back straight and on the next straight. So by the time they get to the banking next time around, Luzio and Atkins are going to be within a kart length of the race leader.
Yeah.
Mark my words.
Yeah, the slipstream down the start-finish straight really plays into effect here. I mean, watch how closely they'll be on that rear bumper, like you say, as they go under the bridge. It really kicks in the second half of the straight. Watch it now. So they go across the line. it's there. 0.3 of a second. Watch it through this section here. It's through here that it really closes up. And now, look at them now. Latched onto the back, really. They've super closed it.
Marcus Lutzio.
Yep.
You will notice, ladies and gentlemen, as they come around Bobby Game Corner, you will see several marshals here at PF International and Head Marshal Glyn Griffiths actively drying the circuit during the race.
Right.
To avoid, to prevent that water from potentially moving onto the racing line and creating a situation. You couldn't pay, I mean, these marshals, they give up their weekends generally for expenses and only.
Yeah.
You could not pay me enough to stand. Watch them now at the inside. There they are, just flashing the screen. They're there trying to get that water off the racing line to prevent a dangerous situation, while 20 of the country's best Senior X30 drivers whiz past them at over 70 miles an hour. All credit to the marshalling team here at PFI. Let's see. The gap has stabilised again, Anthony. This is this is so intriguing. Burgoyne in 4th, Shaw 5th, Littlewood 6th, Louis Johnson Cool 7th. Every time I think that Lutzio and Kalakins are finally going to catch Lawrence does just enough to keep them out of lunge distance. How long can he resist them for, though, Anthony?
I know. Updates a little further back in the field. Nettleship now up 12 places, up into P8. He's having a good run. He's just behind Louis Johnson Cool. Josh Ackenbach just behind him as well. A couple more retirements. Unfortunately, we've lost Tim Wilson Motorsports' Alistair Cresswell. He dropped down 7 places and now back in the pit lane. The number 33 retiring from the race, the same as Josh Palfreyman, who actually received a mechanical failure flag.
Here we go.
Well.
This is look at Atkins now. Look at Atkins pushing him along.
Yeah. That's the draft that we're talking about there. Look how much it closed up. It was 2 kart lengths. Now it's not even a kart length between the two of them. It is a battle of 3 of them now. It's not a group of 1 and 2. It's one group of 3. Lutzio checks over the shoulder to try and see if he can maintain the momentum, and he does. Instantly goes for the move through hairpin 1, and now Gus Lawrence gets squeezed onto the side by Atkins. Fights back, holds on to P number 2 now, but this battle is not over. 3.5 minutes to go, plus that 1 lap. Marcus Lutzio leads the way from Gus Lawrence. Atkins still there in 3rd, but for how much longer? Looks to the inside, but I think he just... Oh, no, he does go for it. What a move.
That was... Well, Atkins, I'm not sure why Lawrence ran wide there, but he obviously did run wide. And suddenly, well, it took them 11 minutes to suddenly get all together, and then 3 corners to spread apart again. But the order is completely different. Warning for Gus Lawrence. That was maybe defending too harshly against Atkins, as Atkins tried to follow him through, going up into the 2nd hairpin last time around. Now Atkins has caught Lutzio again.
Oh, look how quickly that closed up.
Has Kalai Atkins been playing a little game with his rivals? Has he really got the extra pace in that Croc Promotions Mad Croc chassis that can win this race? Lawrence has dropped back. Lawrence has dropped back to over a second adrift. He's going to gain some of that back when, not if, but when Atkins makes his move on Lutzio. Dan Holland Racing leads Croc Promotions, leads PF International, leads Mick Barrett Racing, leads Premium Karting, leads the Jade Racing team. Nettleship, the MDL Motorsport team, is now up into 8th position. There he goes, the first driver not in the chasing pack. When will Atkins make his move? 2 minutes to go.
Was that a penalty? Number 7, Atkins, Kalai Atkins in 2nd place, receives a 5-second time penalty. And, well, that is drama in this race. There is only a couple of minutes left. And, well, Atkins sees, well, he's not seen it yet. He'll see it this time around. And he's actually taken the lead. So Atkins has taken the lead. But he's got that 5-second time penalty.
Okay, you could say that now. Coming into Bobby Game Corner, Gus Lawrence didn't just outbrake himself and run wide. He was given an assist. And instantly a 5-second penalty has been applied. Lawrence back to 2nd, Lutzio down to 3rd. Well, it's Lawrence leading, even though Atkins leads on the road. Lutzio, Burgoyne Jr., fourth, third on the road. Then fourth in the road, third in the standings. Then it's Sam Shaw, Marcus Littlewood, Louis Johnson-Cool, Nettleship, Cottrell. Where does that 5 seconds, that 5-second penalty puts Kalai Atkins out of the top 10. We've got 1 minute to go, Anthony. Here comes Burgoyne Jr. for what is effectively second position at the second hairpin, but Luzio holds on. The ball is back squarely in Gus Lawrence's court.
It really is here now as they go in through Bobby Game corner. The incident in question, or the corner in question that brought out this penalty. And, well, again, you've got to be thinking what is going through these drivers' minds right now, because Gus Lawrence, like you say, technically leading the way. The battle behind between Luzio Burgoyne Jr. is raging on. It's still kicking off further back there as well, as Marcus Littlewood getting squeezed by Sam Shaw on the start-finish straight. And again, he dives back down the inside through the banking there as they fight further back in the field. But eyes on who's going to who's going to finish in second place here, because is it going to be Luzio or is it going to be Burgoyne Jr.? Luzio looks over the corner just to see what is Burgoyne Jr. doing. Absolutely nothing for the time being.
Now, of course, for those of you watching at home, Anthony and I, we see incidents on the screen, but because the race is in progress and because this commentary is going out to the circuit, we do not comment on incidents that we see. However, the penalty has been applied by the race director. We can both say that it was for that incident down at Bobby Game corner, where Gus Lawrence seemed to just run very wide all of his own accord, just as Kalai Atkins passed him. Well, that wasn't the case. This is a new system this year where penalties are applied in race that allows us to explain to you, the viewer, what has gone on. Now, whether that could be appealable afterwards, I do not know. Marcus Luzio getting passed around the outside by Harry Burgoyne Jr. No, he isn't. He holds on. Burgoyne Jr. sent one high, wide and handsome on the banking that time. This is the final lap. Atkins leads on the road, but it's Gus Lawrence leading after penalties have been applied. Harry Burgoyne Jr. and Marcus Luzio, wheel-to-wheel contact. They're coming in the second hairpin. This is for second place overall. And will this bring Louis Johnson-Cool into play? The answer is, at the moment, yes, they're running out of corners. And don't forget, there's water on the inside going into the Mike Wilson complex. Nettleship to the inside. Littlewood and Sam Shaw wheel-to-wheel. The checkered flag is out, however. Kalai Atkins wins on the road, but it's Gus Lawrence who wins in all eventuality, with Harry Burgoyne Jr. second and Marcus Luzio on the podium. Louis Johnson-Cool finishes fourth. Marcus Littlewood, well, that battle on the last lap, Marcus Littlewood finishes 5.2 seconds behind Kalai Atkins. So after Kalai's penalty is applied, and assuming the penalty sticks and is not overturned, Kalai Atkins effectively will finish fifth. Marcus Littlewood in sixth, Jack Nettleship in seventh, Sam Shaw in eighth, Caden McQueen in ninth. Obviously the results on your screen haven't had the penalties applied yet. Might get a little bit confusing. So Atkins will finish fifth, Littlewood sixth, then Nettleship, Sam Shaw, Caden McQueen, Josh Agambar, James Pashley in 11th, Michael Rapsey 12th, Harry Cottrell 13th, then Christopher Bingham, Ewan Thomas, Oliver Greetham and Luke Taylor, the final finisher. Drama in Senior X30. And Anthony Jordan has my permission to completely muller me in front of Gus Lawrence, because I got it all wrong when I said that Gus was looking a bit flustered at the start, or the aborted start. He proved me wrong, and it's not often I get proved wrong, but Gus, I have thoroughly been done there. Great result for the Mick Barrett Racing Team and Harry Burgoyne Jr. First time out as a senior in the British Championship, and he ends up on the podium in P2. Marcus Luzio. We see Marcus have a full season here this year for the Dan Holland Racing Team. Hopefully, he started off on the podium. Great result for Louis Johnson-Cool. There he is, the premium karting team. And discussions going on after what was a very lively race, but Gus Lawrence can breathe easily. I'm looking down at the marshalling team here at PF International are on track and just getting the residual water. That was, I've never seen a burst water pipe in the middle of a race before. I have to say that was a new one on even me. So Anthony will be down speaking to them, and yes, will Anthony resist the temptation to tell guests that I was criticising him when I didn't need to be? Here we go. Let's hear from Anthony now.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, as you can imagine, the tension down here in Parc Fermé is quite high. Obviously, a very dramatic race in that one. Penalties coming out for drivers and all sorts of happenings, with incidents with water as well out on circuit. That was quite a dramatic one as well. Let's chat to our man then who finished P2 on track. But first, overall, Gus Lawrence, well, a good start to the season. Not the way we wanted to start the race, the 3 false starts. Can you tell us firstly what happened there?
Well, obviously, you've been on the inside. You come around the last corner very tight, so that's quite a disadvantage as it is. So the whole idea which they teach you is to accelerate up to the line, which is straight, which I was doing. Being the pole man, I set the pace. And second was just out driving me out every time, 2-3 karts. I was in probably 5th by the time I got to the first corner. So being the pole man, that's not my fault really. Yeah. I set the pace. Yeah, that's that. And then the third, obviously we got told off, didn't we? I don't think I did much wrong there. And the third start, I just kept speed up, just wanting to get started. Yeah. And I could tell he even out-dragged me again, but then he backed off a bit, which went to the first corner parallel, and then obviously on the inside, you can get the lead, can't you?
Yeah. Well, it was a dramatic race as well. You came away with a win.
I was frustrated with the starts, yeah. I don't think I was doing much wrong there. I'm only doing what I've been taught, and I race here every month. Yeah, but...
Solid result. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, Team PFI, my mechanic pod, my parents, and Paul Fletcher.
Lovely. Cheers. Thank you very much. Here we go then, we move on to the Senior X30 final then, race 23 of the weekend. We start with 3rd place. Please give a huge round of applause for number 11, DHR, Marcus Luzio. Marcus, make your way up. Slow as you like, you were quick out on track. Why are you slow now? Get up there, get up there, get up there, get your hat on. Good man, good man. On to 2nd place after gaining 2 positions in the race and his first year in the senior category. Please give it up for the number 68 for Mick Barrett Racing, Harry Burgoyne Jr. Mr. Burgoyne Jr. broke an engine this weekend, but it's all good. He fixed it, didn't you? No. Okay, fair enough. Get your hat on, lad. Smile for Chris. Good stuff. And then finally, on to our race winner. After 17 laps separated by 1.6 seconds. Started on pole, last year's champion for the PF International Karting team, Gus Lawrence. Look at that beautiful hair. Beautiful hair. And not forget his winning mechanic, Pod! Get up here, Pod lad. Where are you, Steve? Go on, everyone clap for Pod. Go on, Pod. Slow as you like. There you go. There he is. There he is.
Cheers, thanks.
You're welcome.
No, I'm not.
That wasn't embarrassing at all for you.
Exactly.
Top lad. If we get you up on the top podium spot, guys, get a group photo in. Excellent stuff as these drivers get their photo taken. Lastly, a huge round of applause, please, then, for your finalists in Senior X30. Cheers, Steve.